Holy crap! Can we talk about Oresuki for a hot moment, please? Hello everyone, welcome to an anime review brought to you by Camille's Harem. Not just a podcast by novice writers for novice writers, but also a YouTube channel by novice writers for novice writers. Because writing is an adventure, it's more fun with friends. And oh holy nights, Oresuki has been taking us on an adventure all its own. And yes, spoiler warning right now because I am swan diving into this madness. This is a very different anime review than what I've done before. Normally, I sit out on reviewing a show while it's ongoing because I enjoy being able to examine and analyze the whole package. However, there comes a time when you just feel so exhilarated that you just have to jump into a project right away. And Oresuki, or Are You Really the Only One Who Likes Me?, is an amazing, over-the-top romantic comedy that is way smarter than it looks at face value, and definitely deserves me jumping into analyzing its story and its writing right off the bat. Earlier I described Oresuki to Camille as a show that might look like a harem, but it's definitely not a harem anime. It has all the trappings for such a show, from the supposedly unassuming naive MC to all the cute girls that fit the different archetypes, before it strips that all away to reveal itself as a very self-aware, dark comedy. It has many similar vibes to 10 Things I Hate About You, in that it is critical and honest about high school relationships and the bizarre, nonsensical way that teens think they like each other. The anime's first 3 episodes caught me totally off guard. I knew that the first 2 characters, Himawari and Cosmos, the girls, were going to confess something other than actual feelings for the main character, Joro, but it was made all the better when it turned out that they were both going after his best friend, Sunchan. However, what made me do a real spit take was when Sanshakuin, or more affectionately nicknamed Pansy, not only confessed her feelings for Joro, but did so on the same bench where Joro got shot down twice! I mean, seriously! Just look at this! I hear a lot about Truck-kun making the rounds these days, but honestly, I think Bench-kun is radically changing young people's lives, and without the collateral damage. But if we're being honest with ourselves, we've seen the unexpected confessions before. That's nothing new. What is new here is where the show goes from this point. Joro thinks that he can salvage the whole situation by supporting both Himawari and Cosmos, and then he'll just end up with one of the girls who ends up losing. But when his best friend Sanchan says that he is in love with Pansy and wants Joro's help to win her heart, things really get turned on their head. But then it goes even another step further and goes to hell in a handbasket when Pansy orchestrates Joro's entire downfall for trying to get her and Sanchan together, and has everyone gang up on him, and his plot is exposed. And yes, we are led later to believe that it was Sanchan who did all of this, but to be all honest, Pansy was the one who's been orchestrating this whole thing. And then we are given another spit take when Pansy then sets up Sunchan to fall by exposing him for using both Himawari and Cosmos to ruin Joro so that he can end up with Pansy, and this is all to further indebt Joro so that she can slowly reel him in. Like, what the heck is going on here? This is a more jumbled up version of the geometry of love than what I analyzed when I looked at the anime gamers. Now, before I launch myself into an analysis for these episodes, as we right now have them, allow me to say that the show reaches me on so many levels. It's impossible for me to adequately describe my own high school experience in this video, but it was somewhere across between 10 Things I Hate About You, How I Met Your Mother, and every horror story from high school you have ever heard. And these kinds of elaborate games to undermine and build relationships were a daily thing in the halls of my high school, complete with misdirecting letters in lockers, public posturing at school events, and even using school IDs as knives. Yes, you heard me right. Okay, so at first glance, the intricate setup of romance and crushes in Oresuki might look ridiculous, but I have seen and even been a part of these kinds of bizarre teenage romances. So where would I fit into the whole Oresuki schemes? That's a conversation for another time. Moving on! One of the earliest videos I did on this channel was a discussion about ways in which we as writers could move on from the tired and well overdone love triangle trope. Oresuki goes far and beyond this point. Joro has a crush on both Himawari and Cosmos, but both girls like Sunchan, and Sunshine likes Pansy, and Pansy likes Joro, and they are all using each other to get with the person that they want. We are only 3 episodes in! The show's opening tells us that we still have numerous characters to meet in the story, but so far, we are dealing with a love pentagram that, unlike Gamers, which is based on hilarious misunderstandings, Oresuki is instead based on hair-raising schemes of emotional and social manipulation. This is a no-bars-hold game of romance, and I am here for it! As of episode 3, nearly all of the cards that these characters have are set out on the table, especially with Pansy literally bearing herself and her feelings to Joro. However, there are still things that are left unanswered, like what exactly is the true interaction between Sunshine and Pansy, and why is he so interested in her? It's not because she tore off her shirt in front of him like it is implied at the end of episode 3. There's still a little bit more that we need to have explained to us. And what will Himawari and Cosmos do after being pushed into rather uncomfortable corners by the end of episode 3? There is no going back after the setup Pansy has thrown them all into. And this is just one of the reasons why the show is so freaking exciting. I feel like I'm getting tugged along in a Dan Brown novel. This all bespeaks an excellent understanding of just how far teens will go to pursue their love. Joro played 2 girls perfectly for months, while Sunshine sabotaged Joro with lies to Himawari and Cosmos, who both callously use Joro to get close to Sunshine, and this is not even mentioning all the times that you can see Pansy stalking Joro. This is excellent writing. It gets harder and harder to write so many character motivations and side plots as the number within the cast grows. But the show does a fantastic job of balancing all of this. And after talking with many novice writers, it is clear that many of them have only a rudimentary understanding of their own supporting cast. Most writers usually think about how the supporting cast will help the main characters progress, which in this case would be Joro and Pansy, rather than allowing the entire cast to experience growth. Episode 3 of Oresuki displays incredible growth for all the members of its cast in the ways in which they deal with the fallout of Pansy's own trap for Sunshine to force out his devious confession. But another thing which makes the show incredibly believable and all the better is how each character has come to love another. All of the girls confessing that they fell in love at a tragic baseball game when Sunshine lost the game on a bad pitch is hilarious and totally relatable. Cosmos and Himawari swooned when they saw his hidden feelings of shame and regret, and he fell for Pansy when this gorgeous girl walked by, and Pansy fell for Joro when she saw him waiting in the sweltering heat for his best friend Sunshine with his favorite food to cheer him up. No matter how you look at these reasons and experiences, though, they are all ridiculous and juvenile. Joro himself admits that all of these reasons are utterly ridiculous and do not measure up to the long-game efforts he has made to woo Himawari and Cosmos, as playing as basically their best friend. Which, yeah, those love-at-first-sight moments don't hold much water, but when we get to see the hilarious results of what these teens do in order to build on these moments, or say this moment of falling in love at first sight, it's incredibly hilarious, and it is also painfully familiar to see how far they're willing to carry out their feelings. It's like getting thrown back into high school all over again. It is utterly chaotic, and that is what is so good about this show. It manages the chaos within its writing so well. There is one last thing I want to talk about in regards to Oresuki. Much like Bunny Girl Senpai, the show resolves what appears to be the big problem in the first 3 episodes. For example, in Bunny Girl Senpai, Sakata saves Mai from disappearing and begins a relationship with her in a moment that feels like it honestly should have been the end of the show, but it's only the end of the 3rd episode. And we still have so many more episodes and amazing experiences before us within Bunny Girl Senpai, and the same thing is happening here with Oresuki. This seemingly biggest problem, this love pentagram, is resolved after just 3 episodes. Now, this is a risky but amazing narrative move. Normally, writers hold off on resolving the initial problem until the very end. This allows them to fully immerse their audience in the emotional weight and character build-up to what is going to be a triumphant moment or an utterly devastating defeat. We ourselves are primed to wait until the end of a story to see these initial conflicts get resolved. But these abrupt resolutions, however, achieve two things. The first is that it defies your expectations by resolving what you thought was the big problem and then throwing you into a sea of expectations and uncertainty. But more importantly, it reveals that there is something much deeper at play. In Bunny Girl Senpai, once again to come back to this example, these deeper elements are what Sakuta has been hiding about his past and how we see both him and Mai grow as a couple. For Oresuki, I believe at this point that the real story is not the love pentagram, but bringing out the real personalities in both Joro and Pansy and seeing how what they've been hiding about themselves is what will make them a real and deep couple. No more of this, it was at last year's ending regional baseball game. Yeah, that is once again juvenile and shallow, but there's something much deeper lying underneath the surface. And on that note, I just want to say I'm really excited to see where we go next, because for this romantic comedy, the sky is the limit. I'm just really hoping that it doesn't disappoint me now with the remainder of the season, because that would really, really suck. If you like this video and you would like us to keep up with Oresuki throughout the rest of its season, please let us know in the comment section below. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. We have more for you to check out over at our podcast, Camille's Harem, writing exercises on our Pinterest page, and discussions over our subreddit. Links for all of those sites are in the description, and please help us in our quest to find terrible fanfics by sending us links to those terrible gems that you know via our Twitter at Camille's Harem. And until the next video, y'all, tschüss.